What's up? I'm gonna teach you 50 skills in Gorilla Tag. I'm gonna split up these skills into 10 different categories. So we're gonna do walls, so let's get right into it. So for walls, there's a skill called wall running or wall climbing. Wall climbing is bouncing in between the indifference in a wall. So like the slit in between it. So what I do for this is I make a triangle like this with my hands and I swipe. And now wall running. For wall running, I usually put my hands like this and I push down but also into the wall. So not too much of both, just like down, circles like that, like watch. Like that. And there's something called verticaling that somebody made a very long time ago. Just like the name, it's always been a thing. It's just like going straight up a wall. So for that, I put my hand like this and I make tiny circles on the wall. Like that. I'll show you in fast motion. And now we have slippery walls. Slippery walls are these walls right here, like the grayish area. And these are red walls up there. So for slippery walls, I recommend keeping the same interval of your hits. So like you go like 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. It just messes up your algorithm. But if you want to stay on the slippery walls, I recommend like having good interval time, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that brings us into our fifth and final skill for wall running. So it's called slip slapping. It's where you go up the slippery wall and you keep one hand on the gray part, but your other hand has to hit off of the red part. So just like this. Like that. For category number 2, I have double walls. And for double walls, there's something called pinch climbing, which you probably know. That's where you put your hands on the wall on both sides, put your controllers close to each other, and just hit up and bring yourself closer to the wall. And this is what happens if you don't bring yourself closer and you just hit up. And then there's double walls. For double walls, you want to bounce in between these two pillars with your hand, moving like I don't recommend like hitting straight across like this. Try moving up a little bit by like hitting up. But once you get better at double walls, you could just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then there's elevatoring. You could elevator by putting your hand, your arm through the wall, keeping your other hand right here, and just doing big circles with your hand, like bringing it inwards. So basically like your hands all the way extended, just like that. And I'll try to just like that. And also you could do doubles where you put both your arms into the wall and just do it like coming forward like this. Another skill, the 4th skill, is with elevatoring, but I call it like scafing because you go back and forth. So like this. Hold on to it, go the other way. And that's really good for competitive if you're just trying to run double walls. The last skill is called scaffing or cutbacks. It's where if you're on these walls and you put your arm like just like around there and you hit backwards onto something. So watch. There should be like a branch somewhere right here, yeah. So it's like stop, doom, doom. And you can do like different variations. Just like that. For the third category I'm going to teach you is branches. So there's a bunch of different techniques on branches. I'll show you a couple. This is skill number 1 on branches. It's called under branching. So it's where you hit off of here and then grab the branch like that. And this is what it looks like if you do it fast. Cool, right? So you could do a bunch of different routes with that. You could like turn, do it anywhere. And for skill number 2, I call it like halfway hospital flip. It's where if you need to like get to that branch, but there's people behind you, and you want to like juke them out, you want to put your hand like this, and just like get your hand, turn it halfway, and then find it like that slant and hit. So this is what it looks like going fast, if I can find a spot. For skill number 3 on ranching, it's like, I call this undergoing. It's like if you're running very fast on a platform, or like it could even be a branch, like someone's behind me, I just, boom, swipe my hand under, and that wasn't fast. I'll show you fast. If I do it fast enough, it usually brings me to another branch. So like this. You could also do that on Gazebo to get like a side swipe like this. You wanna, that's on Gazebo. And for the 4th skill on branches, it's probably just like game sense of knowing where other branches are. So like, I'm right here, and I need to do an under branch, and I don't know where another branch is. I have to memorize where branches are. So it's not really making routes, it's just like memorizing where other branches are. The 4th skill on branches is basically just like kind of doing like side jukes. So like being unpredictable on the branches. So if you're like running this way, just do some of that. And it's hard for other people to follow you. The 4th category, I'm probably gonna do juking, because that can be really useful if you fall off a branch or fall off a wall and there's a bunch of people chasing you. You need to be able to do something. So like this, or normal slide juking. So for jukes, there's techniques where you like put your hand like this and wrap around it. So you can do that on anything that's like circular. The next skill is like hitting and then going back down. Like, this is really good for walls. Like, you see people doing that because they make you think that you're going upwards when you're really not. 3rd skill is like the arm skill. So it's kind of like slide juking, but you can do it in a lot of different spots, like on top of platforms, or if you come right here, and you could like do this. Shimmy your hand like that. 4th skill for juking is probably like going back into something. So like, if I'm running away, right? I go here, I go back. It's not, backtracking isn't really good if someone's completely behind you, but if they're like a ways away, it's super helpful. The last juke is like hitting sideways on ground. So if you're like running away or running anywhere, just like hit it like that. And then completely change your direction. You could also do this like anywhere where it's like a large amount of mass. So if I'm up here, I can just like that. It's kind of unexpected because my head isn't turned that way. For the 5th category, I'm going to do ground in general, because it's, like I said, it's super useful if you fall off of something and you need to run. So ground, there's a bunch of different techniques of running, and I'll show you some right here. One technique that people use, it's kind of old now, but it's called funny running. It's where you just like jitter your hands on the ground, and it makes you go faster than running like this. The second run that I have is like where you extend your arm out and swipe, and then with this arm you go sideways. And this is what it looks like going fast. The third run that I have is like something where you just like, this works a lot better if you're on 60 hertz, but you can do it on any hertz. It's where you just like do this motion and it kind of flings you fast like that. The fourth I'd say is probably like backwards running, and this is good for like, you know, trolling people. It's like someone's behind me and I go like this. I flick my arm. With this arm I just kind of do that. It's like the second run but backwards kind of. And it's actually really fast. Some people run that way backwards instead of forwards. The fifth run would probably just be troll run, because like it's really funny to mess with people if you're in a lobby and they aren't that good. So for troll running, you just want to swing your arms in complete motions like this. It's actually a lot faster than it seems like, because you're not like moving parallel to the ground, or you can do it like this, like make yourself go sideways. For the sixth category, I'm probably gonna do scaling, because that's very useful if you're running on ground and you're about to run out of time, because lava monkeys are always faster than normal monkeys, because lava monkeys just get a speed boost. So if you want to scale, I like to do a bunch of crazy stuff for scaling to mess people up, but the usual scale is like hit onto a branch, hit onto a branch, branch, hit, 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 like that. But if you want to do what I do, it's like this. It's like crazy scaling. Hold on, let me find a demonstration. So over here, you can just like do some crazy stuff to scale up branches. And those are two different scaling examples. Another scaling example that people like to do, it's like just kind of going up far up the branch and then only hitting one, far up the tree and only hitting one branch. So it's like, let me find a good spot. Yeah, so over here, and you want to like do long distance, I do like that. For the fourth type of scaling, it's like, I know it's like on scaling trees, but you could also scale walls. So this is what scaling a wall looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hit. It's like if you can't hold that tension between a vertical anymore, then you just hit off of where you would like normally do a wall climb. Fifth skill for scaling, I'd say, would be like good comparison control between two trees. So like you scale up, right? I scale up, and then I go over to a different tree, and I scale up this tree. It's kind of like branching, but it's like you're in between two different trees. So like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, something like that. For the seventh category, I'm probably gonna do competitive in general, because like that's really good. It's good to have if you're just like trying to play a nice game of tag without getting tagged. So basically, in competitive, you want to have like good game sense of where all your branches are and like all your walls. So if I'm right here and I know there's a branch under me, I could like do something like this, like that, and grab onto the branch. And then there's like universal routes. What that means is like you don't make real routes. It's just like, you know, different places to put your hand to make new routes, like free branching. So like you come over here and you know it's a good spot for routes because it has like a bunch of different branches so you can just go crazy. Like that. And then there's something that people don't really tell you in competitive. It's just like keeping a high ground. I think that's really good because in most scrims that I see of competitive players, when they get tagged, they're usually like down below somewhere. So when you're starting a competitive scrim or something, or just competitive, I know it's not well known, but like, or not well seen, just like try to camp a tree. And then this is like Moses' route. After he gets off the tree, he goes over here and then does some slippery wall stuff like that. So you can try that. The fourth skill is like knowing where all different lava monkeys are going for, like who they're going for. So if you have like some friends or like just random people in a lobby and you see them going for somebody, just keep that in mind so you could run the opposite way of them. If I see someone over there, I want to get as far away from them as I could possibly get. So this is probably where I go. For the 8th category, I'm going to do tagging because it's just a part of the game, like Gorilla Tag. So for the first skill in tagging, I might say probably like getting close to the opponent, and then as they're running, flick tagging. If you don't know what flick tagging is, it's basically like if your hand is right here, like this is my hand fully extended, I can't reach this, and I flick my arm, it makes me hit off because my arm can go fully extended if I just hit it really hard. For skill 2, it's like trying to follow someone's route just a little bit and then trying to find a cutoff so you could tag them well. So like if my opponent is gonna like hit that branch, go up there and then go up there, I'm gonna follow it a little bit and modify it so I can tag them easier. Third skill is trying to get the person that you're tagging on walls or ground, because when you're on walls or ground, you automatically have an advantage because you're gonna be faster with speed boost from the tag. Fourth is trying to find a way to trap them into an area where they're not very good at. So if you hear them like saying, "Oh, I can't do walls," try to run them over here or somewhere so you can just get an easy tag. Fifth is like one-stepping. One-stepping is like basically when you hit really hard on the ground and then you lean forward in real life and it gives you a big boost. So like I'm jumping from this spot to here with that one-stepping, and with one-stepping I could probably go over it. So that's just where you lean forward and hit at the same time. For the 9th category, I just want to do Gazebo real quick because I think it's a really good spot to do good jukes, to mess with people, because it's in the center of the map. This is where a lot of people go. So basically, there's this one skill that I already taught that's just like going like this, but you can go in between places. So like I go like that while still staying on. But the second skill is like turning around. Like you see people do this all the time, like TDC Pig. He hits, puts his arm right there, he holds on and goes like that and lets his arm through. But what I do for that is I put one arm right there and I like swing up fast like that. And you can do it a lot easier than having like one arm free. And then the third skill, I don't really know what this is called, but I'm just gonna call it Gazebo Juke. It's where you put your two hands right here and you do that. Like you go behind your back, and then you just let your hands out. It's really good for most people because this is an old juke and not a lot of people know it now. For the fourth, I think, it's gonna be like just basically this leaderboard right here. Leaderboard is very good for if you're trying to like mess people up, you could hit right here and go that way. Because usually if you hit up here, you go like, it'd be weird. You just like go like that. But with this little thing here, you could lock your arm in and turn back around and mess people up really, really bad. For the fifth skill, it'd probably just be like underswiping is what I call it. It's where like you hit and then you hit. You want to like push yourself into that scaffold right there and then push sideways. So, or you could just do this like if you have long enough arms and you're running and you swing your arm under. My arms aren't long enough yet, but for some people, they could just, here, let me try to extend my arm. They could swing their arm under and just go forward. For the 10th category of skills, I just want to go over everything that I missed. So I realized that I missed stuff in other categories like loose ceiling. So for loose ceiling, you want to get your hands like, probably like this. You want to get them super close, but not so close that you hit. So just like this finger right there, this finger right there. And you want to like have your hands like this. This one goes like that, this one goes like this. I'll show you. And just like constant motion. Kind of circles too. So you don't like stick back onto it, because if you were to stick back onto it, it looked like this. Where you just like keep going onto the wall. And then for the second one I missed, it's kind of like pinch climbing, but you go like that. It's like you can pinch climb a lot of different things. I know I did pinch climbing on double walls, but you can pinch climb a bunch of different things, and it's really useful if you don't really know how to wall climb yet, or like wall run. So you see this wall right here? I can go pretty far up it with pinch climbing. It's just I have to make my stance between my arms wider. Especially this part right here. It's probably the easiest wall to pinch climb in the map. All the way up to slippery walls. So if you want to say you can get slippery walls in there. And then for the last skill, it'd probably just be like on ground. When you're running, when you want to go like faster. So if you're running this way, I recommend hitting while you're approaching it to give you more speed, because it gives you a lot more speed. Like look, okay, so let's say I'm slower than I am. I'm going pretty slow. Hit, oh, it makes me decently fast enough to get away. And then for the fourth skill, it'd probably just be like when you're up here on platforms. I know I showed like undergoing, but it's really good for platforms if you're like trying to get through different spots. So like I wanna pop out over there. You could just do one-handed like that. You'd pop under, get around the corner. It's a lot more useful than you think it is, because people aren't expecting you to just go like one step. Fourth skill would probably just be like finding different things to combine with your branches. So like this is treehouse. It's kind of connected to the ranch, but you could do like stuff like that to get away and just combine it with your branches. Like so, like it's really good because people don't expect it that much. Like you're running, people won't expect you to go inside the treehouse and come out the other way. The fifth and final skill would probably just be long jumps. Long jumps are like jumps that you wouldn't usually be able to make, but you hit extra hard and reach extra far. And I don't recommend play space abusing, which is like running in real life to get an advantage. So like long jumps, but you could walk just a couple feet to help you out. So like here, I walk back a little bit in real life, and then I step 2 feet, and I almost hit it. So I don't think I would usually be able to do that without stepping a couple feet, but that's just what you have to do. And then high jumps come with crouch jumping. So you want to crouch down before you do your high jump, and then hit and get up. So this is without crouching. I barely hit it, no crouching at all. And then this is with crouching and jumping. Just clean up. That's about it for this video. Please subscribe, because that recording just took a very long time, and then editing is probably gonna take me like a couple hours. So I'll see you later.